This time we take a quick train ride from Polignano to the beautiful fishing town of Monopoli. It's a great walking city and less touristy than others. Join us as we have a look around. If you're coming from Polignano, then the station is about a 10-minute walk from the famous beach. If you haven't seen our full guide to this area, then make sure you check it out. Grabbing a ticket from the self-service machine is easy and in multiple languages.
We bought our train tickets, so €1.10 each, and just be sure you have to validate them.
The train ride takes about 15 minutes along the coastline. Services are very regular, and this line is connected to Brindisi and Bari if you're coming from those cities with large airports. Both will get you to Monopoli within an hour.
We are in Monopoli. It's quite a bit bigger than Polignano. We walked from the train station. It's like maybe a 15-minute walk down into the old town. Don't really know what's here, but we're just enjoying wandering the streets for now.
Head for the Centro Storico and just dive into one of the side streets. You don't really need to go anywhere with a purpose. The interesting winding narrow streets will guide you around, and it's perfectly sized to see everything in a few hours. With centuries of history, it's a very photogenic town with lots of colours, including the typical Monopoli green shutter doors and overhanging flower boxes. Find your way down to the little fishing harbour. The blue boats are lined up, and depending on the time of day, you can watch the fishermen stacking their catch on the quayside. Walk around the harbour flanked by the defensive castle walls. Admire the castle, constructed in the 1500s and in parts reaching down into the sea. The fortress was part of the coastal fortifications established by Charles V of Spain when Spain dominated the city. Take a stroll along the Lungomare, the harbour promenade that skirts the old town. There are some nice cafes and restaurants dotted along the route. The Church of San Salvatore, one of the oldest in the city of Monopoli. The structure dates back to the 18th century, and apparently inside there is a magnificent altar in polychrome marbles in a Baroque style.
made a pit stop for Aperols. Funny glasses.
We can't have glass outside, can you? I guess. Monopoli has a small sandy beach that fills up really quickly. As you walk up Argento Street, the skyline is dominated by the 60-metre high clock tower, slipping in and out of view as you weave up the tightly packed street. The Church of St. Maria del Suffragio, best known as the Church of Purgatorio, dates back to the early 18th century. It has a wooden door carved with figurative representations of the triumph of death. Notably, inside there are apparently some display cases containing the skeletons of brothers who died in the 18th or 19th century, preserved and on display.
The thing with all these little side streets is that it's very easy to get lost, and we've been walking around for about 10 or 15 minutes now. We're trying to get to one of the church areas and the Piazza, but we just seem to be lost in a maze of little houses, and Google Maps is not very good at dealing with it when you are in lots of little tiny streets. But we'll keep going.
A cathedral has stood on this site since 1107. The current structure, in a Baroque style, was completed in 1772. It's supposed to be quite beautiful inside, but with everything at the moment, COVID has closed visiting inside buildings, which is a shame. This cute piazza was quiet and a great place to grab a drink before heading to our next location. Next time we head to Alberobello, home of the amazing whitewashed dry stone conical topped huts. It's an incredible place, you won't want to miss it if you're in Puglia. So subscribe now and tune in next time. Happy travels from the Memory Seekers.